most of us are cognizant of on a regular basis. And that's a good thing. God's a good God. We should all be very glad for that. We've got a lot to be grateful for. There's a few other solutions. I think that, we could put the politicians on minimum wage. That'd be a positive thing. And, housing rental strike unless you really love your landlord, you get a really great deal. Or we could abolish every form of money. That'd be a good way to go. We'll figure it out then, won't we? Or if we the people control all the issuance of currency, so we say, no, we're never going into the red. Never. We're staying in the black, baby. We're all sick in this area from breathing carbon monoxide from all the forest fires burning. It's been tough. Really tough. But we got to ask ourselves why we're so driven to escapism. One vice after another. I mean, who doesn't have issues out there? OCD, ADD, PTSD, addictions, this sort, vices of that sort. I mean, it's just crazy. So what's driving that? I think it's our desire this world makes us crazy because it's rife with madness, and madness begets madness, and that's how it's manifested in these forms of escapism. And some healthier than others, but God almighty, I mean, we just want to be free. We want to stop wanting to metaphorically slash our wrists. The most evil men ruling this currently dark world, this beast system residing at the uppermost echelons of power, have been riding this really sweet wave of unmitigated power for a long, long time, and they don't ever want to relent, to stop. Solving societal-wide, socially economic-related unrest, ills, malcontent, and misery is antithetical to their desires. Basically, they don't want problems solved. Rather, the contrary. They want to sustain and proliferate problems in society because this gives them relevance and job security. The solutions do the diametric opposite of that. We got to understand this term critical mass when it relates to the number. Remember I pointed out, like, keys, why we all have to have locks and keys? Because there might be one thief on planet Earth. But just to be rather safe than sorry, out of an abundance of caution, we all have locks on all our stuff, and we all got to walk around with keys. You understand how profoundly that affects our reality, every facet of our reality? Because of one turd in a punch bowl? Imagine if there's 500,000 turds in that punch bowl. That's what we've got. That's a state of affairs in the 21st century on planet Earth. We're pissing God off. And, like they said, it's not good to fool Mother Nature. You don't piss off Mother Nature. And Mother Nature is part of God. They're part and parcel. That's what we're doing. All these forest fires they can't put out. They're burning so damn hot. Can't explain. Record-breaking crap going on in California, polluting other states like Nevada here. Reno's got smoke. They've never seen it that bad in recorded history, apparently. Got a nephew over there and four great nephews. And I'll tell you what, it's a tough pill to swallow. And you wonder about this chemtrailing. They're spraying this very incendiary substance, powdered aluminum. Oh, but we've got to modify the weather, they'll tell you. We're geoengineering. They won't say it on mainstream media, but it's easy to find information online. You can search this stuff. I'm not making anything up. It's not a conspiracy theory. They've been doing this for decades, spraying the sky. The theory is that, this powdered aluminum is, it's shiny, and the sun's going to hit it, and then the sun's going to bounce back, and it's going to be reflected back on itself. But really, there's other scientists, because they don't have unanimous belief in this. Okay, say no, it's going to act like a blanket, like a cloud cover. Now, but no mention of what happens, what goes up must come down, all that powdered aluminum on the forest, on the trees, absorbed into the tissues. What effect that's going to have on forest fires that Mother Nature's starting, trying to control the forest from underbrush. That's what Mother Nature does. What do you think the Indians did? How do you think we had such pristine forests? If you don't let Mother Nature do her thing, that's how you end up with these horrific fires. And then to top it off, they're spraying this incendiary substance on the forest? Give me a break. Inquiring minds want to know. Am I getting it from the mainstream media? Hell no. That to me is an example of something very important that they just, oh, well, no, we're not going to talk about that. National security, yeah, what is it? No, they won't say that, but that's the unspoken inference, right? You're supposed to deduce that, imagine it, and, justify it in your own head. Well, somehow it all makes sense. I know. The mainstream media, I can trust them. They wouldn't report stuff that's not true or just parrot stuff that they suspect might not be true. No, they would never do that. Yes, friends, the dark controllers at the uppermost echelons of power are rivals of God, of good. They have basically chosen to be demonic. They do their evil genius utmost to render us into their image and likeness, only without their vast power. They divide and demonize our local communities vicariously through extension. That's the scientific principle of osmosis. We all get our share, my friends. Mental telepathy is proven. You can inject ideas into people's minds, and we can pray for each other and make substantive, real changes for good. If we allow God into our hearts and minds and go out there and do what we need to do to change things, we do improve it, they got to turn around. We can't keep going this direction. It's not pretty. We got to change. It's not progress. It's the opposite. It's regression. I'm going to go briefly on some recent current events and other talking points. Last week I was talking about this Taliban. That name is relatively recent because I referred to them as ancient, but these nomadic, hardcore Islamic tribes are ancient. Okay, that same caliber of people is around today, and that's them. Okay, the most extreme. But I really feel sorry. We just got to pray for all those people over there. Been through too much already, way too much. It's horrible. But short of committing genocide, we know our troops are way too good to do that. What are we supposed to do? They have to learn to coexist with those people. It's a tough pill to swallow as Americans, especially the sacrifices we've made in the name of peace and justice and freedom over there. But, what can you do? You got to let the chips fall where they will. The president's calling the shots. Time's up, I guess. Islam itself is relatively recent. 600-700 years ago? But that same kind of people, it's all been passed down. These people come from the cradle of civilization in that whole region, the Middle East, North Africa, like the Jews. So they are all very ancient people. Now the pagan secular world has changed the term BC, before Christ. They didn't like that. So now it's BCE. Check that out. There's healthy codependence in a good marriage, and there's unhealthy. And you've got healthy is denoted by the fact that there's mutual respect for each other. Okay? You've all the time, sensitivity. I mentioned a while back that hydrogen peroxide, if I could only have one toiletry, it'd be that. But what's a close second is this 91% isopropyl alcohol. It's great for cleaning toilet seats after use. It can also help with microbial bacterium on your skin. You get a lot of itching, rashes, that kind of thing. These small claims TV shows that I've gotten addicted to, I'm getting a little better, but, I can't watch them all. We're inundated with these things. Could you imagine going to a small claims trial? Okay, and we've all probably been at least sat in on one or been involved in one ourselves. But could you imagine if the judge said, we're going to take a break now for a commercial? So they made the whole courtroom, when they're being paid by the taxpayers. You see what I'm saying? How is it legal to do this? How are they profiting from this? They could settle every one of these claims on every one of these shows for $1 million. What do you think we're paying in administrative costs, paying these judges and all the other people involved in these? Hundreds of millions. Well, I only have one thought from the last week, and I'm going to go to that right now. Out of knowing our needs, God granted man a measure of instinctual fail-safes, default positions situated within our consciences, within our very souls. These are immutable spiritual and eternal laws. Among these many spiritual rules is that if we ever hope to take it easy, quote, take it easy, on ourselves, then a prerequisite we must learn to embrace is simply to, quote, take it easy on others. Best to everybody, listen, let's turn to God for help and strength and the wherewithal to carry on, cope, contend, and help others. And let's try to be nice to each other, nicer and nicer as we age, and kinder, and love one another and care about each other and be cool, try to keep our cool, and enjoy our lives. Okay, tap into the heart and mind of God, and you see it's a beautiful thing, and we can be very glad.